Good morning and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Leap session for Wednesday, September the 6th, 2017. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and hypotheses. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. You can like and follow me as well on YouTube. Just do a search for Quantum Leap Futures. There's over 600 days of these pre-market sessions up on Twitter, and I'm sorry, up on YouTube. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. All right, so let's take a look at the news right away. We've got quite a bit of news that is shaping up. We've got Redbook coming out in 5 minutes. We've got market composite and services PMI coming out in 55 minutes. But the big news is going to be at 10 o'clock. We've got ISM, non-manufacturing, new orders, manufacturing employment, business activity. But the thing to really keep an eye on is what is the Bank of Canada going to do? If they raise rates, it's usually a signal that the U.S. Is going to raise rates as well. So I'll be watching for whether or not they keep the Bank of Canada rate the same, expecting 0.75. Of course, at 2 o'clock, we've got Beige Book, and that's about it for the scheduled news. Taking a look at yesterday profile and what actually happened. Our IPO 1 was an open auction in range, a move down into the 65 area, and then rotation up through into testing that 75 area. Hypo 2 was a failure to hold the breakout and get above the and close the gap, and then rotate down with our main targets being down at the 58, the naked VPOC and the naked close, and then I moved down to test that daily ATR down here at the 51 1/4. Buyers stepped in. What's at our low? I took these three and got funded on both of them. Got stopped out, but I got a good run on this one. And then of course this Mr. Sneaky right here rotated us right back up, and then we went sideways at that 55, 56. And we set up that cup and handle and the inverted head and shoulders that we looked at and posted. Let me just bring that up. Here was the head and shoulders, okay, and the target on that was the 56.50, the primary target. And then we set up for the cup and handle, and the target was at 62 1/4. And remember that these patterns are not session related. So we actually went up in the Globex and hit that target. And we're currently right now testing that 65.50 area. Remember that the 65 is an important level in terms of it puts us back inside of the value area of this micro composite that ran from the 19th, July 19th through to that first breakout day on Thursday, August the 10th. And now we're back inside of that balance area, this distribution zone that runs from 60.50 up to basically, I like to say 80.50, the previous all-time high. And look at where the VPOC is for the 5-day microcomposite, right back in line with the microcomposite VPOC here. And we're just coming back up and testing this 65 area. If we get back inside of the value area, look for them to continue the price discovery up. into the 69. 60.50 is going to become our over-under line. That is our CLVN, and if we get below that, then we're getting inside of the tail of yesterday. That is not properly auctioned yet, and I'd be looking for a move down into the 57.50 area and possibly even coming down into that 51 again. Remember that 40 level is where the value area high is of the longer time frame microcomposite that we are in for quite a bit of the summer. Now let's just take a step back. Each day I like to start my day with a simple candlestick chart, use my paper money and a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA. And all I'm doing is I want to get myself associated with where we are within the time frame. And are we, is the strength of the trend with slope and separation, or are we violating or challenging the trend? I start with a monthly and work my way down. Just give myself a macro to micro view. You can see that the monthly trend is still very much intact. We don't even challenge it until we get into the 2300s. Good slope, good separation. Trend is intact there. The weekly, we talked about the Mr. Sneaky inside bar. And on the Monday of this week, we talked about the possibility of coming down and closing this technical gap. We actually came down and closed the gap against the 20, and we basically fought that 20, and then the buyers did step in and got the continuation. We've got good slope, good separation. We don't challenge the trend until we get down into that 51 area. We did challenge it yesterday, but they popped right back and closed at the 2460 above the 9 and the 20. Going to the daily, you can see that we basically did gap down and challenged the 9 and the 20, took out this naked cross right here, and then the buyer stepped in and we're back above the 9 and the 20 and looking for the possibility of a continuation pattern up. Going into the intraday, we broke below the 9 and the 20, and then we've come up and we were fighting it for the last couple of days, and the buyers have stepped back in and we're coming to challenge the 20. If we get above the 20, I'd be looking for the 9 on the crossover and continuation up to close this gap up here that we left on the gap down on Friday, from Friday. Going to the 1 hour, you can see we are back above the 9 and 20. We do have a naked cross right here up at the 68 area, and there's another one up here. This is the one that I'm really watching up here at the 74, because if we go up and we hold inside of that value area of the microcomposite, then a trip through value would be reasonable, and the value area high of that microcomposite is up at 75, which would come up and take out this naked cross right here. But it is a 1 hour chart, so it is a longer time frame. Let's just drill down to the 30-minute. You can see we do have continuation of the upward trend, good slope, good separation. Going to the 15-minute, same thing. We did just leave a naked cross down here at 61 or 60.75. So I'd be looking for some responsive selling. And basically my hypos are not going to change. This trend, as much as we have oscillated and rotated, counter-rotated down, the trend is still very much intact to the upside on most of the time frames. So if we take a look at this again, this is the value area that I'm talking about. We're challenging it right now at 65. If we get inside of it, a trip through this takes us up into that 75 and towards that 1 hour naked cross at 74. Pretty good looking profile in terms of distribution. We know below the 60.50 that we're likely to challenge the value area low and get inside of this wick right here. That's why I'm targeting the 57.50. But 56 would also be a valid destination. And then below the 53, I'm thinking we're going to come down. Remember, we've already come down once. If we come down again, we're likely to come all the way down into this 43 where they accepted value before going back into price discovery up and getting and challenging back inside of this this micro composite. So if we take a look at our overnight session, see that the overnight inventory is about 60%. Net long, it's pretty balanced. You've got a nice Gaussian distribution. I'm sorry, you got strong kurtosis around the 2460. This is a good example of longer time frame price rejection being challenged and becoming short time frame price acceptance as they fight that level. And what level is that? That's this level right here at the 60-50. You can see that we've got a double distribution going in the smaller time frame, but a very clear CLVN right here at the 60-50. So as long as we hold around the 60-50 and get inside of this value area, back into balance is the likelihood, and why my hypothesis remains to the long side. So if we start moving our levels over, our overnight low is 56.50, just in between the naked VPOC and the naked close. Our overnight high currently is 65.50, but that could change, but we'll put it in right now, 65.50. And our VPOC is not likely to shift. It's going to be 24.60. And right at the close, that was the naked close. And there's really not much more information that this is going to give us. We did end up with a multiple distribution with LVNs. The first one being right here. This becomes my over-under line. The 60-50. Below it, I want to be targeting that 57.50. And the naked close and the overnight low and the naked VPOC from yesterday, basically coming back into this distribution. But my immediate target will be that 57.50 with the extended targets down at the 56 and 55. And then there's not a lot below that. We've got the 56 value area low. The value area high from this microcomposite that we just got up into, broke out of, I should say, is down here at 49. So I'm going to be watching the 49. And anything below 49, I'm looking for a push down. The 20-period full session average true range is running at 20.56. So off of the current high overnight of 65.50, our downside ATR target is down at 45. Is that correct? Hold on a second. 65.50 minus the 20.56. Yeah, 45. And then off of the bottom of the low overnight of 56.50, our upside ATR target is at 77. So just below that naked VPOC and above the naked close. Okay, and then levels below, we've got that 40. That becomes our key line in the sand. That's the value area high of the longer time frame. It was a key line in the sand for us when we were down there. It will be again. And then, of course, the key line in the sand above is up here at the 80.50, the prior all-time high. And just to pull in a couple more levels, 35.50 below that, and 31.50. And that's all I'm going to do for the downside. On the upside, the first immediate target above the 60 is going to be where the VPOC was for most of the day, up at 63.50. And then, of course, the overnight high and this LVN and the value area low at 65 becomes a trade level. Anything above that, I'm targeting 69. That's the microcomposite VPOC for both these areas. And then 69.72. I don't think the 71.25 is going to offer much resistance to us because we've got this naked VPOC up here. And then, of course, we've got that 75, which is the microcomposite value area high. And above that, daily upside ATR target, the 78, the prior all-time high at 80.50. And that's our key line in the sand. Anything above that, we're looking for new all-time highs above the September contract. Remember, we are rolling over into the December contract in a few days. The all-time high for December, and I'm going to park it in here, is 86.25. Why am I putting this in here? Because once we roll, we're looking for equalization. Sorry, contract. We're looking for equalization of these two highs, and likely we'll want to extend the December contract high up into the 88.50. And I call it equalizations of all-time highs from one contract to the other contract. Okay, so those are all the levels. We're currently trading at 65. My main hypothesis remains the same as it was yesterday. I'm looking for an open auction out of range. I'm looking for responsive selling down into the 56 to 60 area. And then somewhere down here, looking for buyers to step in, rotate us up into the 69, chop around in the 69, and push through, testing the other side of value of the microcomposite up at the 75, and possibly getting a late day probe up into taking out this naked VPOC at 78, and then rotating back down and closing somewhere around the 69 to 74 area. So that is hypo 1. Why do we have multiple hypos? Because we don't know what the market's going to do. All we can do is have a plan in place, then realize what the market is doing and execute on that plan. So my second hypothesis is the same as yesterday: open auction, in range, a push up, failure to break out or a false breakout, and then having responsive buyers rotate us back down into the 56 area, chop around in here, and basically go sideways the rest of the day with a late day probe down into the 50-51 area. But I'm not expecting a lot of range on hypo 2. Hypo 3 is a open test drive, failure to get back inside of the prior day, or maybe a quick dip to take out the gap. But open test drive, buyers step in early, push us right up into the 72, 71 to 72 area, chop in here, then take out the 74 and 78 and push up, and get a continuation day and push up into the 80-50, and possibly coming up and testing these contracts all-time highs. So that is hypo 3. And then hypo 4 is failure to break out of the prior day, quick rotation down into the 55, sellers step in and accelerate this down towards the daily downside ATR target at 45 in the prior day range low, and then fail and push on down through. We still have that that area down here at the 31 to 29 area to be tested again. So those are my main hypotheses for the ES. If you take a quick look at gold, my target still remains the 50 level. We were targeting that 45.50 yesterday. It finally did go and hit it. We got as high as 49.70. We missed that 13.50 by 3 ticks. We're balancing here. The 3-day balance is down at 41. We're currently trading 44. If we can get above 44, that breaks us out of our 3-day microcomposite value area, and I'm looking for a move up into the 50, with 56 being the next big target above. If we fail to break above the 45, then a counter rotation back down to the VPOC, and possibly down through value to the value area low and this 37.38. Anything below 37.38, I'm looking for a bigger rotation, probably in the $15 to $20 range, and coming back down into pick up the late buyers down here at the 13.23 area, somewhere in this upper distribution. What was the last price that we accepted before the price discovery out of that? It would be the 2-day. Yeah, so it's still down there, 24.23. So I'd be looking for a move down with 29.90 or 30 being your primary target below 37. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. I'm going to close the room down and open up another room for the members. If you're interested in checking us out, just send me an email and I'll give you some access. We do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. That's going to be it. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.